Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about something that's extremely hard to talk about, but thankfully for the last 5-6 years I've grown up enough strength to talk about it. I know that every day that I'm on here and you guys watch my videos, I'm like this great bubbly positive person. But unfortunately, I've been through a lot of things in my life that I wouldn't want anybody to ever have to go through. I decided to talk about it today because it's something that I'm sure a lot of women go through, and they feel like maybe they're alone, or they feel like they can never express how they truly feel about this subject. I'm here to let you guys know you are not alone. I was in a abusive relationship. I wouldn't even say so much a relationship because it only happened once, but in that one night that it happened multiple times. So about 6 to 7 years ago, I was in a relationship, and like any relationship starts, it's always like that wonderful honeymoon phase that, you know, us girls dream about. We had a wonderful relationship. He was the best boyfriend. I remember bragging to all my friends about him because he was the best boyfriend that I had ever had. And he comes from a very strong background, so a lot of people kind of had their doubts and had their own opinions about him and where he came from. And I'm not going to really go into detail because I don't want to get beat up in the comments, but he comes from a background where men are inferior and men are, you know, bigger than any woman could possibly ever be, and there's no equal, you know, in their culture. And he never made me feel like that. So I never once expected anything bad from him. He also came from a family that he was very, very, very close with, and his mom and his sister, he was very close to and had a very great relationship with them. But in the last maybe 8 months to 10 months of our relationship, things started to go downhill. A lot of it had to do with his lifestyle. He got into, you know, steroids, like partying, drugs and stuff like that, and slowly but surely he started changing, and with that our relationship started to change too. Becoming more aggressive in our everyday life, start arguments over the smallest things. A lot of this had to do with the steroids. I know what happens and how it can change a person. So the mix between having steroids in your system and drinking on top of that was just a really bad mix, and that's exactly what happened the night that I had gotten hit in the face. And it was a really scary situation. I remember leaving the place that we were at. He had been drinking. We got into a huge argument and I just didn't want to be there anymore. So I ended up leaving with a friend. She dropped me off at home and he followed us. He was like maybe 5 minutes behind us, and I was terrified because I knew that he was coming like after me, and this was my boyfriend. So to already be so scared that your boyfriend is chasing you down the street is already a little bit too much, and our relationship had already kind of crossed another level that I no longer felt safe. When we pulled up to my house, we both got out of the car and I asked him to please leave, and he told me, please, I want to talk, and I said, please respect my wishes. I don't feel comfortable talking to you right now in your state. If you could please go and respect that this is my house. And out of nowhere, he had his fist like this, swung and hit me as hard as he could right here on my ear. So I actually have, I have to wear clip-ons for the rest of my life unless I want to get it fixed, which is like $500 an ear. But luckily it's just one. So when he hit me, my earring ripped completely out of my ear, ripping my earlobe apart. So now I have like, it's so gross. I know, I'm like very conscious about it, so I can't even believe I'm showing you guys right now. But because of this, I can no longer wear earrings. So people that are very close to me that know me, I only wear clip-ons. And it's for that reason. So as this was happening, I had so many mixed emotions. I was freaking out. My parents were upstairs sleeping. They had no idea what was going on. It was 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and I was screaming for my life. And in that time, my boyfriend was running back to his car like a little bitch because he was about to take off. And I got up, I was holding the side of my face. I ran to my garage. We had like a little lock keypad, put in my code, and I was just like, please, like open the fucking garage. I need to get inside my house. I was waiting for the garage to open, and you know how like you could duck under before the garage opens all the way? Well, that's what I was trying to do because I was trying to get in as fast as possible. And in that time, my heel, because I was wearing high heels, gets stuck in the smallest little fucking crack and I fall over. All I see was my boyfriend running back up the driveway, and in my head I'm like, oh my god, he probably knows he fucked up. He's probably like, what did I just do? And again, he came at me with a fist, and this time he actually hit me in the same spot but closer to my eye and hit me like this, boom. All I remember was just like, what the fuck is going on? Everything just happened so fast, and I was terrified. I was so scared. I was bawling, crying. I was screaming for my life, and still my parents hadn't heard because they were upstairs sleeping in their room. At that time, he ran back to his car, got in his car, started it, and he took off. I just remember right away so much heat and so much pressure just like building up around my eye. I ran straight to my parents' room and I was just screaming like, "Mom, Dad, Mom, Dad." And they opened their door and they were like, "What happened?" And I was telling them, I'm like, "Oh my God, he just hit me. He hit me in the face like twice." And my mom was just like, just as terrified as I was. After he did that, he had the fucking nerve to come back to my house, ring the doorbell like a crazy man, like ding, 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 knocking on the door like he was going psycho. Like he was literally going crazy. And my dad came downstairs to open the door and I was like, "Don't let him in, don't let him in." And he was like begging. He's like, "Please, please, like I need to see her. I'm so sorry. I can't believe I did that." Blah, 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 blah. And it was like one of the craziest nights in my entire life. And like I said, it's taken me a very long time to kind of get over that whole situation. I finally saw a therapist. I finally talked about my feelings and how it made me feel. I've felt a lot better since then. Talking to small groups really, really helps. Most of all, just being able to get it off my chest and being able to finally get all this weight off my shoulders has made me feel so much better. And now I just kind of want to share my story with you guys and let you guys know you are not alone, you know. And I hope to God and I pray to God that you are strong enough to walk away and never look back. I know a lot of us feel like, "Oh my God, we have to start over in a whole new relationship," or "I love him so much, I want to stay." But it is so toxic. It is so hard for you to ever move on in your life and ever really get past the situation. And mind you, it probably will happen again if you go back, because he'll think that that's okay. And he'll think like, "Oh, you know, it's fine. She'll take me back. She'll take me back." But just know, you guys, that you have to be stronger. Be stronger than him. I understand that these things happen and it's not something we plan for, but God does not put you in a situation that you can't handle. Here to just share my story with you guys. You guys already know I would say my door is always open, but I'm always open to talking to you guys about this. You guys can always reach out to me. I'm here. I'm your big sister. I'm your little sister. I'm your daughter. I'm anybody that you need me to be. If you guys know somebody that's been through this situation that maybe needs to hear the story, please make sure to send them to this video, because I really truly feel like knowing somebody that went through the same thing, it does help. It really does help, and it kind of makes you feel like you're not alone. So thank you guys so much for watching again. As always, I love you, and I'll see you guys in my next video.